Good morning. Happy Saturday, folks. And it is a beautiful Saturday indeed, especially here in Antigua. Feels great out this morning. This is certainly somewhere that is extremely comfortable all year long. So, today we're switching things up. I'm looking forward to this. I look forward to every week, but I look forward to switching program up as well. Now, our last cycle was such a hit, as they all are, that we're going to stick with that same type of theme. We're going to switch muscle groups, we're going to switch exercises, but we're still going to go out of order. Instead of stretch, tax, release, and roll, whichever R you prefer, we're going to be rolling first. So it's going to be roll or release, if you will, then tax, then stretch. So there's certainly different camps of thought as far as roll, like when the most beneficial time to roll your muscles are, post-workout, or even during your workout between sets. And I'm a big fan of all of them, as I am of dynamic stretching. So I think that it's beneficial to stretch or roll prior to your workout, during your workout, if you stay timely with it, or post-workout. I think both ways are beneficial and really can be dependent on what you're doing for your workout, but we're just switching it up so you can see, feel, and experience the benefit of rolling a target muscle group prior, then taxing that muscle, and then stretching it afterwards. And the idea between the stretching and the rolling are both to keep things safe and increase your performance, but to increase your recovery and circulation. That's really what the massaging and rolling is for, is to increase your blood flow and circulation in addition to your mobility and flexibility. So we're going to be hitting some triceps today, some calves, and some thighs. Andrea appropriately coined the workout tries and thighs, because we do butts and guts a lot. So tries and thighs is pretty catchy too, but we're also adding in some calves, and we're gonna have some fun with it. I might sprinkle in abs at the end to get us an ab finisher. So we're gonna start with the triceps. So you're gonna need to grab your foam roller or whatever you're rolling with, and we're gonna roll the triceps, which is a less common muscle group to roll, but very, very beneficial, especially for elbow tendonitis. So let's grab whatever you're rolling with. And you can roll your triceps a lot of different angles, but what I'm going to show you first is get the stick out between my toes. I'm going to go sideways so you can see what I'm doing. I've got the foam roller right here, or the PVC roller, and I'm going to put my arm across my body, and you see I'm kind of on my side, and make sure all of you can see me right now, all right? And I'm going to roll side to side, and you see I'm kind of maintaining this side lying position, and I'm using my opposing arm to help push and pull me horizontally from left to right. I'm trying not to cringe right now, because honestly I need this very dearly, and this is a very effective way. See, when you pull your arm across your body, it's kind of like a tricep shoulder stretch that we've done standing, and when your arm is going across your body laying down, then it lengthens your tricep, makes this rolling technique a little bit more effective. Now you don't have to roll the entire length of your triceps from your elbow to your shoulder. You can hit one part and then kind of shimmy it on down, move to a different part of your tricep. I started hitting the upper half of my tris closer to my shoulder. Now I'm hitting the bottom half closer to my elbow. For this part, I'm just straight up laying on the ground, and just the weight of my arm on the roller is enough. Like, this is pretty intense for me, actually. It's good to internally and externally rotate your shoulder and expose the triceps from different angles. All right, let's switch sides. Make sure you can see me. Yep, all right. Laying on my other side. Once again, I'm gonna start on the upper half, my triceps, the superior portion. Now there are three parts of your triceps: the long head, the short head, and the medial head. And right now, I'm focusing a little bit more on the short head, which is the outside of my triceps. It tends to be what we commonly think of triceps out here. That's really what I'm focusing on. Now, if you haven't rolled triceps like this, remember that might not feel very efficient your first time around. There's always some adjustments, and I'm going to move this on down to the lower half of my triceps. There's always micro adjustments and ways that you learn you need to manipulate your body position to give you the most effective rolling application. But no matter what, it's part of the learning curve, it's part of the experience, it's part of the benefit. It's okay if you feel a little funky, like you're not doing it right. If you're on top of the foam roller and you're moving around, you're doing something right. You're going to be getting the benefit out of it. All right, great. We smashed those tris. Let's hop on up. We're gonna go into our, forgot I've got two cameras on right now. I'm staring into one of them. Maybe I'll just stare in the middle and it'll look like I'm looking at you. We're gonna hit some triceps. We're doing a tricep. So grab your medium-sized band. I'm gonna stay on the ground. Let's sit down for this. Let's take the legs out of the equation. This is actually a medium small band, and a medium small band will work for everyone. Now, you might recognize these. We've done these once or twice. We're gonna have some horizontal field goal posts. The elbows are at 90 degrees, elbows are out wide, and then we spread the band, touch your clavicle, back to 90 degrees. Spread the band, touch your clavicle, back to 90 degrees. Squeeze your shoulder blades tight the entire time. Don't let those shoulder blades float around. Keep your back packed tight. And we're isolating the triceps, and we're isolating the elbow joint. This is not a band pull. We're not focusing on your shoulders moving back and forth or your elbows moving front to back. Elbows stay put. The forearms and fists are the only things moving. And what's very important is to get your peak contraction where you fully extend and you push your pinky fingers behind you. Think about that. Straighten your wrists out. Push your pinky fingers back behind you. Fully lock out your elbows. I know those triceps are burning. We're getting somewhere now. Get ready to speed it up. You know we like to switch gears. Let's get 2 more and then we're going to speed it up for 15. 1 more. All right, let's speed it up. Here we go. 1, 2, burn. 3, breathe. 4. I'm gonna make it. 5 more. Oh wow, it's a deep burn. Oh, it's a deep burn. Oh, I don't know if you're counting. Did over 1,000. Oh, sculpt the guns in the office here. All right, so that's step 1 of our tricep. Let's grab a weight. I'm gonna grab a kettlebell. Let's remain seated because doing things seated for your arms can actually take the lower body out of the equation, make the kinetic change shorter, and get more to the point of what you're addressing. So let's stay on the ground. We're gonna do some French presses. You can use a dumbbell, you can use 2 dumbbells, you can use your slam ball, you can use a kettlebell, you can use a barbell. Just grab something, and this is coming up overhead. A French press is an overhead tricep extension. Lower the weight down your back, push it up. Lower the weight down your back. If you're holding a dumbbell, touch your upper back, touch your trapezius. If you're holding a kettlebell like me, slide the bell down your spine. Keep it close to your body. That's very important. Keep it close to your body. And you'll see how my elbows flare out a little bit, and then they come together. For me, that's much more comfortable than trying to keep my elbows locked in place. Some people have the shoulder structure to keep their elbows still and not experience any shoulder grindage or elbow grindage. For me, letting the elbows float is better. I know it hurts. Get it back up, get it back up. Keep working. All right, let's speed it up for 8. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I gotta have a rest pause. I'm still gonna get to 8. You keep going, you keep going. All right. 4, I gotta be honest with it. 5. Oh, I gotta rest pause again. Not a bad thing. 6, 7, 8. Oh, wow, okay. Now you see I implemented a rest pause technique, which is where you just stop and then start up again. You just keep chipping away at it, getting to your rep goal, accumulating your reps. And that is very simple intensity technique. Just because you can't keep going doesn't mean the set's over, doesn't mean your muscles are done. Just wait a second, wait a breath, get some more reps in. All right, so now our third tricep exercise in this tricep is a push-up variation. Now I'm doing this to basically to pick on Susan. We had a push-up party yesterday. But today we're doing a close grip tricep push-up. You might be familiar with these. A lot of people call them diamond push-ups, but the important thing is that your hands are close together. You don't necessarily need to make exactly a diamond, and it depends on the structure of your joints, but the point is you have a close grip and the elbows are bending and extending a lot. All right, so I'm gonna do these on my knees. Let's all do these on our knees. Check it out. Very close grip, knees on the ground, elbows flare out, touch your chest to the ground, and push. We're doing these on our knees for a good reason, because we're really trying to isolate the triceps. This is a very weak push-up variation because we are emphasizing on the triceps and taking a lot of the chest out of the equation. You see me going all the way to the ground. Bend those elbows, bend them, bend them, bend them, and brace your abs and push. Again, get a full lockout. When you lock your arms out, that's when you get your peak tricep contraction. So be very intent on locking out and squeezing your triceps at the top. Chest to the deck. Let me see you get down there. Get 3 more now. Everyone, get 3 more. Okay. Trying to just make sure that the sun is not washing me out. I'm going to move you over here just in case. This is a little bit better of an angle. All right. Don't want to block my beautiful assistant too much. So now we're stretching the triceps. So different ways to stretch our triceps. Grab your stability ball, and we're going to do a tricep stretch on the stability ball. You can use a chair, bench, couch works good. And so this is similar to our chest stretch, only now we're focusing on the back of the arms. So I'm going to put one arm on top of the ball like this. I'm going to make sure I bend my hand backwards, stretching and lengthening the tricep, and sink towards the ground, and just hold that initially Now we're stretching multiple things here: your lats, your serratus, your pecs, posterior deltoids, but certainly the triceps. Make sure your hand is folded back, elbow bent. And now shimmy from side to side a little bit, stretching your triceps from different angles. And you might feel this more in your lats or your chest even, but it's certainly stretching your triceps. And it's important that we know that that is our objective, so we can move in a manner that helps facilitate the best tricep stretch possible. So just hone in, focus, put your mind in your triceps. Breathe big into the triceps. Imagine inflating, inhaling, expanding your tris, full of air like a balloon. All right, let's switch sides. Other elbow on the ball. And let your body weight do the work. Drop towards the ground. Just stay still at first. Just stay still. Initiate a good tricep stretch. Relax your shoulder. Make sure you're not pushing into the ball. You're letting your body weight facilitate this stretch. All right, I'm gonna start to shimmy side to side now. Staying hyper focused on the triceps. Keeping this hand back. My hand is actually touching my opposite scapula right now, behind my head. Find what you need. Play around with it a little bit. Week 1, remember, there's a learning curve every single cycle that we begin. Weeks 1 and even week 2, we get used to the movements, familiar with the program. Doesn't mean we don't get to work, but we're here to learn. We're here to increase our repertoire. All right, let's hop off of there. All right, folks, we are moving on to calves. Now, we are gonna do 3 different calf exercises, but first, we won't forget we're gonna roll and release. So grab your foam roller or your PVC pipe. We're gonna roll both calves simultaneously today. So, lean back, kickstand your arms behind you. All right, I've got the foam roller placed more towards my Achilles on the bottom half, and we're just gonna focus on the bottom half of your calves right now. Going from your Achilles tendon, up your soleus, and towards your calf. So really, we're actually emphasizing more on the soleus than we are on your calf, but they are pretty much interchangeable as far as when people are referring to calves. Now this, you can push down a little bit. It's just important that you're keeping your ankles and your feet relaxed. But you can use the weight of your thighs, but you can also push down into the roller a little bit. Now let's angle both of our feet to the left. Angle both feet to the left, and now you're gonna roll. So now we're rolling the outside of your left lower extremity and the inside of your right lower extremity. All right, we're getting a twofer here. All right, let's point the toes to the right, both feet pointing right. For me personally, the outside of my calves tend to be much more tender, much more in need of rolling, and I notice that on the left and the right side. All right, now we're gonna finish with the big meaty part of our calves. So let's position the roller up a little bit higher. And now, instead of rolling front to back, check this out. We're going to rotate the feet, hips, and knees both directions. So how about that? We don't even have to pick our bodies up and exert all of the energy it takes to roll front to back to hit our calves here. We can roll side to side in this cross-sectional direction, moving laterally now across the big meaty part of our calves. Just like kneading the dough out. You knead it in all directions. You don't have to knead it the same way. You can loosen it up from all angles. So Get a couple more both directions. All right, nice. All right, folks, it's time to blast the calves. Tax the calves, lower extremity, tricep. We're gonna start with some bunny hops, different types of bunny hops. This is gonna be kind of a medley, so I want you to follow along, watch what I do. We're gonna do about 100 bunny hops in different ways. That way we're developing stability in the lower extremities too, in the lower ankles, knees, and hips. So make sure you got some space. All right, let's start simple. Use your arms a little bit. Keep these very shallow, light, and quick. All right, bunny hops. Keep your heels off the ground. You see how I'm using my arms. Swing your arms a little bit. Up, 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 up. Pump those arms. All right, now we're doing scissor hops. Check it out. Scissor hops. Scissor hops. Keep your heels off the ground. Scissor hops, front to back. Stay light. Keep your heels off the ground. Move your arms. Lateral hops, lateral. Side to side. Pump your arms. Pump your arms. Keep it going now. Keep going. Crisscross. Karaoke. Check it out. Crisscross. Crisscross. This is number 4 of 5. We've got one more variation after this. We're just gonna be taking it full circle. All right, bunny hops, last one. Bunny hop, come on now. Keep those calves firing. Let's get 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, wow. All right, I was shooting for about 100 there, and I can almost guarantee it was probably more than 100, because if you know me, I don't typically cut a set short. I underestimate, so we usually do some extra reps, if anything. Next up, we're gonna do some donkey calf raises. So you can use a chair, bench, stool, or stability ball like me, and check it out, donkey calf raise. This is an old school classic. Arnold came up with these, so you know they're good. You're gonna lean on the ball or whatever you've got. You see how I've got a 90-degree angle at my hips. Very important that you're not forward or backwards, but 90 degrees. Let's bring your feet about hip width apart, and you're going to squeeze up into a calf raise. Knees are straight, then tap the ground with your heels. Squeeze up, tap the ground. Squeeze up, tap the ground. Now in your mind, you want to think like you're pushing your tailbone up to the sky. So every time you squeeze your heels up off the ground, get your tailbone up as high as you can. Straighten your knees out, literally lock your knees out straight, and make sure you're not resting on the ground. You are just tapping the ground and then going right back up. Get yourself a nice big paused rep at the top. Tap the ground. Always control the eccentric. Make sure you're not resting your head on your hands or anything like that. We don't want your implement to support more of your weight than it needs to. Big burn, big squeeze. Every contraction, every rep, build more mechanical tension. Keep it going now. Big squeeze, control. Big squeeze, pause, control. Let's get 5 more. Squeeze. Your goal is to literally try to get a calf cramp on every rep. You're lifting, squeezing, like you're attempting to cramp up your own calves. A little masochistic. Nature of the beast. All right, there we go. Nice. Okay, so last up, we're going to do some seated calf raises. I'm gonna use my stability ball because that's what I got with me, but a chair or stool or whatever works great as well. You need weight. Grab a big weight. So not a lightweight, not a 5-pound dumbbell. Grab something heavier. Put it on your thighs, on the end of your knees, or end of your thighs where your knees are. Now we're gonna tuck your feet underneath your knees. So my feet are tucked in kind of close to me now. My knees are bent less than 90 degrees. It's an acute angle at the knees. You're going to squeeze up into a calf raise, tap the ground. Squeeze up, tap the ground. For me personally, I get a better contraction on seated calf raises when I lean forward. Now, try that with me. Lean forward. Make sure your butt is on the edge of your seat. I'm sitting on the front of my ball. I'm not sitting on top of my ball. I'm sitting on the front of my ball. Scoot up on the edge of your chair. Keep those feet tucked in underneath your knees, underneath your hamstrings. Lean forward. Get a big peak contraction at the top. Remember, we're not resting on the ground, we're just touching the ground. Ooh, I almost did get a little left side calf cramp there. That tells me I'm doing a better job on the left side. So I'm gonna try to get a calf cramp on the right side. I'm gonna try to walk that line and get a cramp without debilitating myself. All right, let's switch gears now. Let's speed them up, all right? Speed them up. 1, let's get 15, 2, 3, focus on the contraction. 4, 5, squeeze it up. 6, squeeze it up. 7, get it up. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh yeah. All right, time to stretch these calves. Make space. Now we're doing a very yoga-esque calf stretch. We're doing a down dog where we pedal out our feet, and you know, the yogis do these for all kinds of reasons. Anytime we're in a down dog, I like to pedal out my feet, and I like to get a calf stretch because I need it. So let's get your hands planted on the ground. Pike your hips up and back. Push your heels down towards the ground. Head hanging down in between your elbows. And you're gonna pedal out your feet side to side. My feet are about hip width right now, and I like to sneak in different widths of feet stance when I'm stretching my calves in this down dog. But for now, keep your feet close together, about hip width or a little narrower. So you're gonna bend one knee as you extend the other knee, and you push that heel down towards the ground. So the knee that bends, your heel comes up off the ground, and the knee that locks out, you push that heel towards the ground. You should get yourself a big Achilles tendon stretch, soleus stretch, calf stretch, and even hamstring stretch. All right, let's take this out to a wider stance now. Very wide stance. Now, you're going to shift your body side to side as you're pushing one heel down at a time, alternating from right to left. And the reason that I like to take this wide stance is because now when you're pushing your heel down and stretching side to side at a wider stance with a different angle, you actually stretch a little bit more of the outside of your calves, the lateral head of the gastrocs. Calves have a fancy scientific name, gastrocnemius. I remember thinking that was impossible to remember in college, but here we are, putting my investment to good use. So stretch those gastrocnemiuses. Let's get a couple more side to side. All right, great. Now there's a lot going on there. That's a challenging exercise in and of itself, with the shoulders, the overhead stability, the core, flexibility in your hamstrings. It's all good. Just know what our intention is, which is the calves. All right, moment we've all been waiting for, thighs. It's not tris and thighs without thighs, so it's time to hit the quads. Grab your roller. Let's go ahead and prep the thighs with the roller. All right. My roller is kind of narrow, so my legs are close together. Now I'm using my elbows and my arms to do all the work here. Rolling all the way up my thighs to the very top towards my hips. Then I'm pulling myself forward, rolling all the way to the top of the kneecaps. Keep your feet parallel and your toes pointed down, so your legs are neutral. Pick a direction. Inhale as you roll one direction, exhale as you roll the other direction. There's not a correct or incorrect way to breathe when you're doing this. It's just important that you're breathing along with it. All right, what we're gonna do now is externally rotate your hips, so point your toes outward on both legs. Now what this does is expose the inner quadriceps. So we've got our feet angled outward. This one will make you cry. Why? Because we're focusing on the vastus medialis. Vastus medialis is notorious for making people cry when they foam roll it, because it is typically a very tight muscle. It's called the teardrop muscle because for two reasons. It's shaped literally like a teardrop, and also it makes you want to cry, so very fitting. So we're hitting the vastus medialis, the teardrop muscle, which is down by the inside of your kneecaps. So make sure you're not skipping that. Get all the way down to the inside of your kneecaps. Get a couple more. Don't short it now. Don't hold your breath. Don't pant. Stay steady. Stay strong. All right, let's hop off the roller. All right, folks, we are going to start isolating the quads with an isometric quad dominant squat. Iso squats. So we're not going to be doing much moving, but we're going to be doing a lot of working. I just realized I'm talking to you and I'm like way out of the picture on the actual recording, but you'll see that when you do the recording. So let's take a narrow stance, feet parallel. All right, keep your back tall and neutral, arms out in front of you. You're gonna bend at the knees. Now you're gonna bend at the knees until your heels start to come up off the ground just a little bit. Right when you feel your heels come off the ground, stop there. So you're still trying to kind of keep your heels on the ground. Bring your chest up more, push your knees forward a little more, keep your arms out in front. All of your weight is in the balls of your feet, and you should feel how we're loading the quadriceps by doing this. So don't bend over, stay upright, push your knees forward, keep the weight in the balls of your feet. See if you can sink down a couple more inches now. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff right now. Breathe with me. We're gonna do 5 more breaths, my breaths. I'm shaking, knees are trembling. All right, come on up. Oh yeah, oh that's right. Now you should be able to tell how that is a quad dominant iso squat with the feet parallel, bending at the knees, keeping your torso upright, and loading the quads. All right, we're gonna go into a split squat variation. So this is and for week 1, we're not loading, we're not adding external load. You can bet we will in the future. So I'm gonna face sideways here. We're gonna do a split squat variation. Now this is for the front leg. Split stance is pretty close. Bend both knees simultaneously. Tap your back knee to the ground right by your front ankle and push through the front thigh to stand up. It's very important to notice that this is for the front thigh. All right, the back leg is just there for balance. Once again, keep your chest upright. Bend both knees simultaneously. Allow your front knee to travel forward past your toes. That's important. Knees over toes, knees past our toes. Control. Now we are using both legs, so it's okay if you feel it in the back quads area too, but just know that you're pushing, engaging, activating, and addressing the front thigh. This can and does put more stress on your knee than something like a long stride, long stance split squat. But that's because we're literally trying to stress the quads and knees more, intentionally and under control. Let's get 5 more. Switch legs, right into it now, right into it. All right, stay upright. Bend both knees. Look at your front knee. Make sure it's traveling forward past your toes. Tap your back knee to the ground, right by the inside of your arch of your front foot. Stand up all the way, extending and flexing your thigh at the top. Breathe big. Inhale, expand, inflate. Send your air to that front thigh. Let's get 5 more. Stay with me now. Nice. Give those thighs a quick shake. Give them a quick shake. Shake it out. Shake it out. All right, now we are going to hit some plyometrics for the second time today. And that is because the third part of our quad tricep is gonna be once again another variation of a squat jump. But this time, instead of staying shallow and high, before we did bunny hops for the calves. Now we sink a little deeper to address the quadriceps. This is still a partial rep squat jump. It's not a full depth squat jump because we do that to engage more of the posterior glutes and hammies. We want to engage the quads. And yeah, we're still using our calves, but we're thinking quads now. So it's gonna look like this. Feet about hip width apart, knees bend forward, use your arms, and you see I'm not going into a full squat. You know I like to squat deep, but I'm going about half squat, push, half squat, push. Load the quads. Now, we're in the mindset of addressing our quadriceps right now, so it's up to you to focus on squatting and loading the quads. So squat in a manner where you feel those thighs load. Feel it. Bend the knees. Don't sit back so much. Bend the knees forward. Use your arms. It's hard to get off the ground, isn't it? Yeah, we pre-fatigue those quads pretty good, which is a good thing. Let's get 10 more. I'm not moving very fast. I'm trying. 3. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Time for a little quad stretch. Okay. So, again, a little bit of a yoga-esque quad stretch, but also an old school conventional way to stretch the quads. I like to do this alternating left to right side. So, you're gonna start by sitting up with your knees folded, legs underneath you. So we're already stretching the quads just by being in this position. You're also getting a huge tibialis anterior stretch on the front of your shins. So just hang out here for now. Relax your knees, relax your thighs. Now when we start moving, turning this into more of a dynamic stretch, we're gonna alternate from right to left, which I like that because it reduces the overall stress on your knees, because this can be very stressful on your knees. So what you're gonna do is lean back, twist, one hand goes to the ground, push yourself back up. Lean back, twist, hand to the ground, push yourself back up. So when you twist and lean one direction, you're stretching that thigh a little bit more. You should feel that because more pressure is on this side. Now lean, twist, and rebound. You know, do it a little differently each time. Play around with it so that you can feel which approach helps you, A, stretch your quads the best, and B, maybe avoid any unwanted discomfort's one thing, but if you feel pain in your ankles and knees, sharp shooting lightning bolt pain, then you need to approach it a little different. Just find what you need. Let's get 2 more on each side. All right, nice. Ooh, getting out there, getting out of it sometimes is a little slow. All right, nice. So for today, no additional abs. Next week we'll speed it up a little bit. I think I'll sprinkle in some extra ab work. But now you've got the idea of it's not STR anymore. It's RTS. Release, tax, stretch. We're focusing on triceps, calves, and quads. We'll speed things up next time. You're gonna notice that we load things more next time, like those squats, and we'll add a little bit more external resistance, and we'll get through things faster, and we'll add in some core. Again, today, week 1 is laying the foundation. Don't feel obligated or like you need to do more now. You might think, oh, that was kind of a slow workout. Oh, we didn't go very hard, heavy, fast. We didn't do a lot. Well, week 1, remember, it's more important to lay the foundation, work on movement patterns, work on your execution, work on your mind-muscle connection, and be fresh and hungry for the next time you do this, which will be when you watch the recording in 2 to 3 days. So then you can go a little bit harder because you know what to expect and you know how to execute things a little bit better. So don't feel like you need to do more fitnessing today. Let it be that. We want to get out of the mindset that a workout's not a workout unless you're completely taxed and exhausted, laying in a puddle of sweat on the ground. Sometimes that's great, yeah, but not all the time. All right, remember, our body's like a car. All right, we want to be able to joyride it, work all the gears, different speeds, different distances. Not every time you take your car out of the garage, you're not doing a drag race. So it's the same thing. If you go pull your car out of the garage and drag race it every time, your car is going to blow up and not last very long. But every once in a while, you want to be able to go up to the stoplight and race for pink slips. And that's why we prep and do these days where we lay the foundation, so we can do that hardcore stuff, which is more like week 3 and 4. So I'm just saying, cut it there unless you're going to foam roll more. You're allowed to foam roll. You're allowed to yoga. Yoga starts here in 10 minutes. Hope to see you soon. Stay strong.